Bonjour mes gourmands. This week we're turning our attention to starters, and I think one of the easiest Asian starters you can make are basic Wontons, which is the Vietnamese name for fried wontons. In Mandarin you would say 炸餛飩. They are amazingly fast to make, very humble regarding the number of ingredients, but they still taste lovely. Enough said, let's get cooking. For 3 to 4 servings of the wonton we'll need 200 grams of ground meat, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, pepper to taste, and 250 grams of store-bought wonton wrappers. For the additional sauce we'll need 2 teaspoons of tomato paste, 4 teaspoons of sugar, 4 tablespoons of water, some tapioca starch and a bit of water. Let's prepare the wonton filling. All we need to do is to mix the ground meat with pepper and the sesame oil. The meat should have a light and fragrant odor of sesame seeds. If it doesn't, simply add a bit of sesame oil into the mixture. Place a good teaspoon of filling into the middle of the wonton wrapper, moisten the area around the meat with some water and press the wrapper together to seal in the filling. This is the shape we're aiming for. Before we start to heat up the oil, we'll want to line the strainer with some paper towel, which will absorb some of the excess oil from the wontons. Heat up the oil over medium or medium-high. You can dip a corner of a wonton into the oil every now and then to check if the oil has reached the frying temperature. You know it's ready if it starts blowing bubbles. Keep in mind that you don't want the oil to be too hot, otherwise the wrapper will darken too fast while the filling is still raw. Fry until golden brown, then transfer to the strainer we've prepared before. Continue the process until you run out of raw wontons. Now to the sauce. If you find that the sauce is too thin, you can dissolve some tapioca starch in clear water and set it aside for later use. You can also do the same with the water, the sugar and the tomato paste in another bowl. Heat up your skillet and bring your tomato water mixture to a simmer. Then carefully add the starch and the water mix. You might want to go easy on that and observe how much the sauce thickens before you add more. And that's basically the sweet and sour tomato sauce. If you like to add a fancy twist, you could stir fry some thinly julienne carrots in some oil in the skillet before you add the tomato water mix, just until they get a bit softer, you know. Bon appetit! Wontons is the first starter my mom taught me to make, and I still love to make them to this day. While this recipe is indeed very simple, I find that it still has a very pleasant flavor. The sesame oil and the pepper add a great fragrance to the meat, but even the wrappers themselves get a lovely taste as you fry them in the hot oil. Anyways, you can combine this dish with some of my other easy to make emergency dishes and you'll have a full menu set which looks fancy while you didn't even need to slave away in the kitchen. Alright, instead of the self-made sweet and sour sauce, you can of course also use the store-bought one to dip the wonton in. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video, subscribe for weekly recipe updates, and if you have questions, suggestions, or if you're new here and just want to say hi, leave me a message in the comment section down below. I hope to see you next week again when I have another recipe prepared for you, and until then, bye!